This is not an Ibanez. No, it's not a Schecter. What exactly is it? Well, this is a Sire. Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. I hope you're all doing very well today. Check this guitar out. Now, I never thought Sire would do a guitar like this. Of course, they're really well known for their 7 series, the S7, T7, H7, and L7, which is, their takes on very classic guitar shapes. Well, enter the X10. Floyd Rose trim, Seymour Duncan pickups, burl top, ebony fingerboard, stainless steel frets, locking nut, on and on it goes. This is a very modern guitar, obviously, take from Sire. So let's get into it. Let's look at the specs on this thing, the pricing, the playability, all those things. Here we go. Right, so what exactly is the X10? Well, let's take a little bit of a closer look. So here's a good look at the headstock. You can see Larry Carlton X10 by Sire and that matching burl top. This guitar also comes in trans black and with the gold hardware, and that kind of like see-through black burl also looks very excellent. But yes, matching on the headstock, and as you can see, gold hardware, locking nut. So you know this guitar is in for some fun. Here's a look at the backside. So Grover tuners, and of course they're not locking because we have the locking nut. Big volute, and on the neck you can see 5-piece maple and mahogany. It's going to be extremely stable, and satin finish, very, very nice. There's a look at the contoured heel as well. So playability, it's going to be good right off the bat. We've got ebony fingerboard, really nice, kind of understated block inlays, stainless steel frets. So we've got a pretty good checklist already. Stainless steel frets, ebony fingerboard, some nice inlays, compound radius neck, Seymour Duncan pups. The wings on either side of the through maple and walnut, or maple and mahogany rather, is alder on either side of the wings, and with that burl top. So that's kind of like the basic specs. Here's a look at the Floyd Rose. 5-way switch, volume, and tone. So there you guys go. On the back side, I've already removed the cover because that's one of the first things I like to do. And of course, we've got metal switch, so no plastic there, full-size pots. So yeah, checklist. I even like a little bit of the body swoop there. So considering this is Sire's first kind of like, I don't know if you'd say like ultra modern guitar, it's got a pretty good checklist with the ebony, with the compound radius, with stainless steel frets, 5-piece neck, Floyd Rose locking. It's all there, but what does it feel like to play? And more importantly, what does it sound like? That is ridiculous good fun. So first tones on the Sire X10. This guitar is a blast. Let's get into it and try some other tones. All right, you guys, I'm plugged into the Rev Generator 120 with obviously a pretty aggressive tone. And all the fun that comes with a Floyd Rose. And of course, we go right back into tune. So that's the beauty of a locking system. You can use that whammy bar, day, night, as much as you want. And other than, some string I guess, stretching, you're never going to have to touch these. It just always will come back in tune, and I've found that to be the case so far. So let's try the neck pickup here. I'm just going to use the same like high gain setting, and let's just try and see how creamy that neck pickup is. So far, the bridge pickup does everything you're going to want out of like a super Strat. But let's just test out the neck pickup. Yeah, so that's the difference between the neck and the bridge. And of course, yeah, you can get that really smooth, ultra sustainy tone that you want for progressive rock, for those ballads and all that kind of stuff. So bridge, check mark. Neck, check mark. This is a 5-way switch, so let's clean things up a bit and just see what these pickups sound like and how they're divided up on that 5-way switch. Now, in my opinion, everything sounded great on this guitar clean, except for the bridge pickup. It's just too hot and the frequencies don't sound quite right when you play it clean, but its job is to sound amazing with distortion, and it does its job. The other pickups sounded great clean. In the neck pickup, nice and warm. You could play some jazz chords or even, rock the tone control a little bit more and, play some Pat Metheny or anything like that. Really warm, and the in-between sounds nice and out of phase. You got some nice attack and some kind of quackiness to it, and then middle pickup is both together, and I thought it sounded good, but in my opinion, the neck sounds the best clean, and the in-between positions. These two together and the bridge together, for me, is a little bit hot, but position 2, 4, and 5 sound really awesome clean. Now, for those who don't need the high-end specs and features of the X10, well, guess what? Sire has the X5. That's the budget version of the X10. So you can see same headstock shape, Larry Carlton X5. Still have the locking nut there. No Grover tuners on the back. Not sure how much that's going to matter since we're locking it down anyway. Single maple neck, satin finish, so we don't have the 5-piece maple neck, and it's a bolt-on instead of that through body where that 5-piece neck goes all the way through. This one is a bolt-on. Still very nice contours on it. Mahogany body with an ash top. No Seymour Duncan pickups on this one. We still get a Floyd Rose. This is the Floyd Rose Special. So a little bit more of a budget version of the Floyd Rose, but it's nice to have something actually branded and not just like a, not sure what you're gonna get. So nice to have the Floyd Rose there. Still a 5-way switch, volume tone. Guess what? Still full-size pots, metal switch. Love to see that on a budget model. Great cutaway there, and the body shape is exactly the same. Let's bring in the X5 and just do a little bit chugging between the X10 here and the X5 so you guys can hear the difference between the flagship and sort of the budget model, and then yeah, we'll wrap it up with some final thoughts. right, so here are my final thoughts on the Sire X10, and I'll talk about the X5 in just a second. Now, there's not a single thing missing on this guitar. It literally has everything. From the compound radius neck, the ebony fingerboard, the stainless steel frets, it's even got the rolled fingerboard edges, which I don't think I've ever seen on this style of guitar. Now, when I do play this style of guitar, like a Super Strat, my thumb does tend to stay on the back of the neck, whereas if I'm playing a Strat or a Tele, my thumb tends to stay on the top, and I don't know. It just, those rolled fingerboard edges are just so smooth, and you don't see it on this style of guitar. So it's so nice. In between each fret, they've taken and just gently rolled the fingerboard edge, so there's not a sharp thing on this guitar. The fret ends, of course, are rolled perfectly. You know, some of the nicest fretwork on these guitars, and I said the same thing on the 7 series. So nice to see that they've brought that over to the X10. Just perfect. The fretwork is perfect. The fingerboard in between that, if you do like to hang your thumb over, I sometimes still do if I'm muting and just chugging down here. It's a nice experience, so nice. And then of course the neck is perfection. It's not like, how would I describe the neck profile? I know you guys just need to get your hands on it and play it. It's not super duper thin. It's not like razor thin. It's not chunky, but it doesn't like flatten off on the back. And you know, have the neck profile this thin, like like some of the Ibanez guitars. So it does have a little bit, I'm not going to say a thick neck profile, because it's not a thick neck profile, but it's got just a little bit more. So if you don't like the paper thin necks, this one's super duper comfortable. So playability is sublime, and of course with that neck through design, you can do whatever you want with the cutaway, and it is perfect. Like full access to the 24 frets, stainless steel frets, so you're not going to wear them out. The list just goes on, and like I said, you know, this Floyd Rose system with the locking nut, you tune it up and then you don't tune it like forever. Now, if you break a string, it's a different story. That can be a bit of a pain in the butt, but that's a pretty uncommon occurrence these days. So yeah, anyway, I'm trying to think of some downsides on this guitar, and there really aren't any. I'll link to it in the video description below so you guys can see the full detailed specs, but I've covered the highlights for sure. And yeah, I can't fault this guitar. It's a fantastic Super Strat. I love the headstock shape, just a little bit different. It's got a little bit of that Sire-ness to it, but yeah, just really, really beautiful. The gold hardware, and as I mentioned, especially on that blackout finish, looks fantastic, but I like this finish as well. And yeah, it's just a phenomenal guitar. Pickups sound amazing. Full-size pot switches. Body shape is cool with just a little bit of something going on right there. The volute, it's going to be epically strong, so you don't necessarily have to baby it. But yeah, for Sire's first foray into like the Super Strat territory, knockout. This is a phenomenal guitar. Super fun to play, and it just does what it's supposed to do. Now, as for the X5, in this price tier, it's got some amazing features as well, and we'll talk about the tone versus tone in a second too, but it also has the rolled fingerboard edges. Again, in this price tier, you just don't see that attention to detail. Not a sharp fret on here, super duper smooth. Rosewood instead of ebony, single maple neck instead of the 5-ply. Hardware is not quite the same as the X10, so it doesn't feel the same to play. Like, it doesn't have that same, I don't know, like sense of everything's so connected, but that's kind of like the difference between a bolt-on and a neck through as well. You just get a different feel for the guitar. So this one doesn't feel like the X10. You guys need to know that. But for a budget guitar, man, they've got everything. You've even got like a little tilt back right there from here to there. There's a contour that kind of keeps it slimmer. Big, deep cutaways right there. So playability on this one, excellent as well. Now, as for the pickups, the tone versus tone. Now, when playing with high gain, which is what these guitars are designed to do, I found this guitar just as bright, just as cutting. So if you want to chug on this, if you want to throw it in the neck pickup and play some ballady kind of stuff, this does all of that. Now, I think the Seymour Duncans were a little a little bit more complex, like when you just wrung a chord out or you sustained a big note. There was some more like kind of overtones going on, and I think it sounded just slightly more, yeah, complex or interesting. This one sounded very direct, so you can do everything you need to on a Super Strat. Like when I was chugging, I almost preferred this one a little bit because you don't necessarily need that that complex tone. You just want something that cuts and hits hard, and this does that, and these pickups do that. So I thought the pickups were very, very good on this, and when you're playing with gain, which, like I said, these guitars are designed to do, these pickups are very, very good. So for a budget guitar, you don't get the stainless steel frets, but the playability on this is very good. Thanks so much for watching, you guys. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to subscribe to the channel. As I mentioned, I will link to these guitars in the video description below for full specs, pricing, all those things. Check it out. Other than that, have yourself a great day. Take care.